On the 21st of June this year, the City of Parramatta Council issued a discussion paper on the many complex planning and traffic issues facing the people of Epping. This planning review wasn't about rezoning or increasing density. We know that the people of Epping and the rest of the LGA are already playing their part in contributing significantly to Sydney's housing target. Rather, it was aimed at correcting the deficiencies in planning controls that were implemented in 2014. Council held a series of workshops in Epping to hear your views from the community about community facilities, public spaces that are needed for a growing community, about heritage, traffic, and the need for commercial space and local jobs. We also asked you to tell us how those issues affected your daily lives and how we can work together to improve the lives of the current and the future residents. Your responses have been overwhelming. Over 500 locals have attended community forums and lodged submissions, highlighting your concerns. What's clear is that there is no easy answer. There is no magic wand. But importantly, stage one of this planning review has given the Council the information that we need to develop a set of principles which will address these important issues in future planning. As the population continues to grow, all important social infrastructure must keep pace with development. The community has a real concern that the Epping Town Centre needs a community hub. And that would include a bigger, better library, community facilities and a plaza, either on Council's Rawson Street car park or on the Chambers Court site. Council will be exploring both of these options, and at the same time, we've made the firm commitment that there'll be no net loss in community space in Epping. And that's why we've also allocated $20 million in the new draft Section 94 plan to acquire open space, to ensure that as we develop, we also provide better social amenities. In 2018, we'll also be consulting with the community about a master plan for beautiful Dents Park, with the assumption that a 50-metre pool will be retained. We heard your message loud and clear about the traffic problems in Epping, particularly around the town centre, where approximately 80% of people using the bridge have a destination to somewhere else in Sydney. While there isn't a single solution to Epping's traffic challenges, one factor is apparent. Like so many in the community, I believe that a detailed traffic study, one that's currently underway, needs to be completed before any major CBD planning proposals like Ostino or like other developments are finalised. And I intend to write to the New South Wales Department of Planning, strongly urging them to adopt this position. Council can't solve the traffic problems on its own, but we are working hard on initiatives that will certainly help. These include retaining and reinvigorating the village look and the feel of the town centre. It means improving pedestrian connections and bringing back local shopping and jobs. The current planning controls have not produced the jobs, the retail or the commercial services that were imagined back in 2014. We know, and Council will deliver, stronger controls that will ensure that retail and commercial space is provided in future redevelopments. The proposed new controls will require a minimum of 3 levels of retail and commercial space in all future development on site zoned B2. Council cannot and will not ignore the tension that exists between the general community's enjoyment of the beautiful streetscapes that we find in Essex Street and Rosebank Avenue, and the distress of the residents who are currently living with a loss of their privacy and amenity as a result of the adjoining buildings. No one can reverse time, but we can look for ways to mitigate the impacts of that which has already occurred. So Council is looking for ways to better manage the interface between the multi-storey apartments and the houses in the adjoining heritage zones. Council will also be preparing new planning controls for further consultation with the community. Those controls would allow some of the homes adjoining the apartment buildings to be redeveloped as manor houses, which is a 2-storey small apartment building with a maximum of 4 apartments. Another option that we will be considering is allowing 3-storey development, but with strong controls on important matters such as setbacks from boundary fences and the maintenance of street fronts. The review has identified 4 changes to the current planning controls that must happen now. We simply can't wait for the traffic study to be completed. We need to replace the Section 94 plan for Epping because we need to ensure that every dollar collected from Epping Town Centre redevelopment stays in Epping and is invested for the needs of the growing Epping population. A draft Section 94 plan for Epping Town Centre is currently on exhibition, and the results of that consultation will be presented to the new incoming council before the end of 2018. We also need stronger regulation to protect Epping trees. We need to ensure that mature trees of a much wider range of species are protected from deliberate or careless destruction. Proposed amendments to the Hornsby DCP will provide that protection, are also currently on exhibition. We also need to look at car usage in the town centre. And Council is drafting an amendment to the Hornsby DCP that will reduce the number of new car spots being built for new apartments, as well as looking at introducing a system of residential parking permits for the Epping Town Centre. We also need to protect pedestrian safety at RAWSON Street. And Council will undertake a 2-month trial of a lollipop attendant at peak times at RAWSON Street, at that crossing where we hope to improve pedestrian safety. Now that stage 1 of the review has been completed, I want to personally thank the hundreds of residents who took the time to share their views with us. Following the elections in September, Council will brief the incoming Lord Mayor and councillors and seek their endorsement to progress this project. Under stage 2, Council will draft new planning controls for discussion with the local community. The Council has already committed that the new LEP will not be enacted until detailed controls around issues like buffers, setbacks, trees and other supporting policies are also finalised and also ready to be implemented. Thank you again for having your say on Epping's future.